what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city.
Hi guys, it is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, July, don't know, 29th. I knew that. It's tomorrow's Mika's birthday. Ignore me. I'm mentally frazzled right now. So good afternoon. It's almost 1. This morning I had to get up kind of early and get to the city. I had a dermatology appointment for my psoriasis and for a mole on my rib cage that has grown in the last 6 months or so, and my doctor wanted me to get checked out. I saw dermatology for it. He said it looked questionable. He flat out said he's so busy he couldn't get me in for another 8 months to remove it unless we just went ahead and removed it today. So went ahead, had him remove it, and they're going to send it off. I should have results in about 2 weeks, which honestly I'm glad it's gone, because it's always getting like cut open and just like because of where it's at on my rib cage. And so anyways, it's gone. Got a bandage. Left there, I came to Shawnee. I had some fruit and vegetable vouchers from Homeland, so I just went ahead and used those and got some stuff for the house, just like some squash and grapes and blueberries and things. And now I am headed home. CJ just picked up a new job. He's helping move mobile homes, and it's long, like 12 and 16-hour days, but I guess he's liking it. He actually, because they worked so late yesterday and had to be back today at like 4:30 in the morning, he actually ended up staying the night with his friend last night and just leaving out this morning just to save them the extra 30 minutes of driving and getting up early and things. And so he's doing that again today. Mika's watching the others for me right now because my appointment was so early. I didn't really have anybody else to have watch the kids that early. But everything's good there. I've talked to her several times, and she got up, set her alarm, got up, made donuts for breakfast for everybody. And so she's having fun over there because she likes to do the cooking and things. And so, yeah, they're doing good. CJ's doing good. I got this removed. I got some medication for my psoriasis that's stronger than anything I've taken in the past that they said would help me, hopefully, with my psoriasis so that I'm in better condition, because it's just kind of constantly flared up for me. So, that's good news. Got some produce. I gotta go home and clean out my fridge. It's kind of a mess. But I'm gonna clean it out today, I think. And then a friend of mine got Mika some stuff for her birthday, and she wanted me to meet her after a while and pick that up. So I'm gonna meet her in a little bit. And then after I meet with her, I'm gonna check my mail because I haven't checked it in days. And then get home and figure out dinner. I did get some zucchini and yellow squash with the produce I got today, and so I think whatever I make, I'm going to make squash with it because I want squash, but otherwise I don't know what else we're going to have. But what else? If you've been following with everything that's been going on with my family, I know James has court on Thursday. I won't be there unless I am required to be there, but otherwise I won't. I have kids who have therapy that day. among other things going on, and there's just, like, unless I have to be there, I'm not going to reschedule my kids' therapy and stuff. But as far as all that goes, I think it's just going to basically be that they're just going to tell him he needs to get an attorney or not get an attorney or whatever he was going to decide on that. And then, like, the next court date will be like the preliminary hearing or whatever, where he can say he's guilty or not guilty or whatever. I don't know. Not up with all this stuff, this court stuff, so I guess I'll understand it all once we go through it, but right now I don't. He was rearrested after we had court last time. It kind of, for me and the kids, it was like an instant relief, like, okay, this is finally going to be like our freedom. This is going to be like, we can breathe. Everybody slept like friggin' rocks that night. Like, we were at peace, we were happy. We knew that, like, all of us were safe and we could breathe. And a couple days later, I got a notification that he had bonded out. Somebody had put up $4,000 on his bond for, it was like $40,000, and then you put up $4,000 to get him out. Somebody put up $4,000 to get him out, and so he's out, and that's stressful. I don't think he'd come to our house because he's already gotten in trouble for it once as a violation of the protective order. So I just don't know. I don't know what to expect. But he didn't get out until court and sentencing and all that. So unless he violates in some way again, he is currently out of jail. And that's, again, very stressful. Terrifyingly stressful. I haven't even really on here even talked about the level of stressful that is for us. And I probably won't. I don't know. But I mean, if you follow me on Facebook and stuff, then you've seen updates and you know what's been going on. But it's just been really hard, and having to figure out all the bills and everything that were 9 weeks behind because he didn't work for 9 weeks before all of this, and everything coming due again, having him shut off our electricity and internet, knowing that it was 100 degrees outside, knowing that without internet we could not use our phones because of our signal there. Those things were like low blows when we were already going through a lot. Trying to illegally obtain insurance on my insurance policy and add a vehicle to it so that I'd be responsible for his payments. Low blow. Showing up at the house 3 hours after being released from jail. Low blow. Just continuous stress and harassment that we really don't need. And I doubt that's going to be the end of it. I mean, in all honesty, because he has just continuously tried to find ways to just break me, and he's even apparently been calling my father, because my father had some missed calls from him on his phone that he didn't answer, and that worked for him the first time, because when we split up in 2015, he called my father and my siblings and everybody he could and told them that he loved me, he cared about me, he was wanting to make things work, that I was being difficult about it, that he just wanted to be my husband and father to our kids, and all these things. And a lot of people saw that as him caring, and they pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. Not everybody, but a lot of people pushed me to go back to him, and had I not done that, my life would be much different right now, because I mean, he definitely found ways to control and manipulate me even more so after that, and just tear down me and the kids. And I wish every day that I had been smarter than that. But again, these are the things that happen when a 22-year-old gets in a relationship with a 36-year-old. And, you know, some people have differences in their ages and relationships, and it worked out well. But in mine, it did not, because I was very young and gullible and believed I felt like, oh, he's going to be safe for me. He's going to be good for me. He's going to be, you know, and he's older, so he's going to, like, have himself together and, you know, all these things. And 37-year-old, almost 38-year-old me feels much differently about that now. And it's something that I would definitely not be thrilled with if it was my daughters in this situation with somebody who's so much older. You know, I would see it much like I do now instead of like I did then. But all of this to say, he has court Thursday. We'll see how that goes. They pushed our protective order hearing to the end of August. So, I mean, we do have a emergency protective order until then, but we don't have a permanent protective order until we go back. Sorry guys, I'm on my dirt road and they just like put some gravel down, so it's pretty rough. But I don't know. Life is life. I don't know. It's just, I mean, obviously when I was younger and when I had kids and things, like, I never thought that I would be raising 5 kids alone, but here I am, and, you know, I'm gonna do it. I mean, they're my kids. I've never shied away from responsibility with my kids. I love my kids. My kids are my whole world, and I can and will do everything I can do for my kids, and no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But I just never imagined that, you know, almost 18 years ago when I had CJ, I never imagined that I would be raising 5 kids alone one day. Don't regret having my kids in any way, shape, or form, but it's crazy to think about. But at the same time, I think I've always kind of just taken care of my kids alone, and so, like, not much is going to change other than the fact that I'm going back to work. That's really all that's changing, because I have always done everything for my kids. Even when I became a stay-at-home mom, I found ways through content monetization on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and things, and my camera is trying to be weird because of all the bumping. I found ways to, I'm going to stop right here and see if I can get my camera straightened up. Don't worry, I live on a very secluded road. There's very, very rarely traffic on my road. I have found ways to make money to provide things my kids need. I have, you know, resold old clothing and things that I've, you know, previously bought them that they wore and whatever, like gently used clothing. I have made and sold bread. I've sold eggs. I've sold garden vegetables. I have sold canned goods. I've sold friendship bread, sourdough bread. I've, you know, created a YouTube channel, and when it became monetized, that became income. But I've always made sure my kids have clothes, they have shoes, they have food. If they want to go on trips with different co-op groups or different things, I've always found a way to make it happen. Always found a way to make birthdays happen, Christmas happen, and I've done that myself, like, always. And nobody's, like, my family has bought, you know, my kids presents and things from them, but, like, as far as James has never bought the kids clothes, he's never bought them shoes, he's never bought birthday presents, he's never bought Christmas presents, he's never, you know, never wanted to take the kids out to dinner. If the kids went out to dinner, it was because I paid for it. Now he would take me out to dinner, but then he wouldn't want me to speak the whole time. We would just sit in silence and eat and go home, and it would only be somewhere he wanted to go eat. But as far as, like, the kids, you know, I have been the one who has provided for my kids their entire lives. Diapers, wipes, shoes, clothes, presents, birthdays, Christmas, all the things. I've nothing's changing. And then in the sense of being the one that the kids go to when they need something, or to have hard conversations with the kids, to parent the kids in any way, to have easy conversations, fun conversations, spend time with the kids, whatever it may be. Again, that's always been me, and it's not been him. So in that sense, it's not going to change. Really, the only thing that's going to change is that he won't be here to like overstep me, and like when I get onto one of the kids about something and I'm like, hey, don't do that, that's not how we act, I won't have him coming in screaming and yelling behind me and breaking things and taking a hammer to their phone or whatever because they splashed water on the bathroom floor or whatever, and so like in that sense, like I'm thankful for that, because like there's going to be an ease and a peace in my house that hasn't been there in a long time once we're truly safe and free. But we're definitely not there yet. We're not out of the woods yet, but one day. But all of that to say, like, I've definitely always felt like I have been alone in taking care of my kids. So, I mean, I guess it's not really going to change all that much. Like, I've never had help getting up with them at night. I've never had help with diapering. I've never had help with taking them to and from daycare when I worked, or running on my lunch break to take them from one daycare to the other because that daycare closes for the night and they go to a different daycare so that I could finish my second half of my like 16-hour shift I was on or whatever. Like, and where there's a will, there's a way, and I have always found ways to make life work with my kids, and I will continue to do so however I can. But it's crazy to think of, like, growing up, I always thought like, oh, I'm gonna have like this perfect little family, and or big family, and like I'm gonna have my kids and we're gonna have like a great relationship, and and we're gonna spend all this time together as a family, and we're gonna do this and that, and like all these things that never happened and never will happen. And so like that's hard for me, just because like knowing that that's never going to be our life. But the actual me being the only sole parent, like that's something that I'm just gonna keep on doing. Like that's something that's never changed. But anyway, yeah, so I'm home. I'm going to have a kid come unlock the gate for me because my back hurts from laying on that bed and getting my mole removed. And then we're gonna get this stuff in. I am going to eat something quickly, clean out my fridge, maybe fold some laundry before I meet Micah, and go from there.
Our friend Mika got Mika this cheesecake for her birthday, and she is so excited about it. Now I'm cutting up bacon, onion, zucchini, and yellow squash, and I'm going to go ahead and get these cooking. I'm also going to make a cheesy risotto rice that I actually got at Dollar Tree or somewhere a while back, and a protein mac and cheese, as well as fried pork chops. So that is our mac and cheese. That's the risotto rice, and I'm working on frying the pork chops now. I used this cowboy butter to season them, and when they are close to done cooking, I'm going to go ahead and add this Japanese barbecue that I got at Walmart and let them kind of simmer in the sauce. This is the protein mac and cheese I'm making. And then I'll also show you guys this Dollar Tree risotto rice. Some of my kids really like that one. So I'm going to make both so we have plenty of leftovers.
I got this picture in my closet. It's gathering dust right now, and the edges have been folded once or twice. doesn't look the same no more, 'cause the sun has made it pale. I used to have it hanging on my wall some time ago. A picture of you.
And this is our finished dinner tonight.
You're standing by that window.
Thank you guys so much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you want to chat, and I'll see you next time with another new video. Bye.